Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay, let me see who was here first. Uh, do I have to say it? Okay, here. Well, all right. Okay, I'll say it. I'll say it. Crotching chicken hidden egg. That's who's here first. Crotching chicken hidden egg. Yep, that's what it is. It's crotching chicken hidden egg. That's who was here first. Um, and because I have so much to cover, I'm going to leave it there and we'll just get into it. Let me grab my slides, which are ready to go. Um, why do I picture like a hen ducking behind a barn, or no, a little chicken coop somewhere? A little hen ducking behind a chicken coop. Don't want the other hens to get jealous of her eggs, so she's crouching and laying eggs in the cut somewhere. Why does that come to mind? I don't know. My wild imagination, I suppose. Okay, there we go. Slides are up. Uh Elsie, is it Mensa? You're freezing. Yes, that time of year. It's that time of year. New photos of Meghan, Archewell's next big move. Um, King Charles III in Canada. The Will and Kate fake charm offensive is offending. And so much more. Okay, so let's get on with it. Hey, Black Queen, Sherry Ware. Elebia is here. Hazel Jones. So, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry just announced their new project, and it's got Royal ISPA. I don't know what that ISPO means. Royal ISPO. Is that supposed to mean inspiration? I don't know. No, ISPO. What is INSPO? But anyway, the Welcome Project, currently running in 8 states and Washington, D.C., has a connection to Meghan's work with the Hub Community Kitchen in the UK. And I'm sure you all remember the Hub Community Kitchen. I made a video earlier. It was so cool making that video. I loved putting it all together. That is like my little hobby. But yeah, so that is something that, as they say, has that connection. And if you remember the story of the Hub Community Kitchen, how they can only keep it open for a couple days because, you know, there was a bunch of things that were going on. Let's see. So Meghan Markle and Prince Harry announced their newest initiative, the Welcome Project. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's Archewell Foundation is launching the Welcome Project in hopes of creating more inclusive communities. And that's what it's about. It's about making people feel welcome instead of being so combative and opposed. You know, I don't blame migrants, immigrants, expats, whatever you want to call them. If there's something that we need to learn in the Western industrialized world, is that the comforts that we have come at a cost. And that cost is cheap labor, displacing people because of global warming. There's a lot of places that should be wealthy nations, but they're not wealthy because the power and the influence of the West actually keeps our prices. I know you're going to get mad at me for saying this, but artificially low. What we pay for a pair of denim jeans is a fraction of what the true value of that other person's labor is. And that's just one of those things we have to think about. And anyway, once they destroy the environment in these other places, or once they start wars in these other places, people decide that they got to go. They don't want to leave, but they have to. And we'd all do the same thing if it was our families that we wanted to prepare a better life. So that is why I'm always so pro migrant and so pro immigrant. And yes, I know we can only accept so many people, but like I said, it's all our responsibility. I know you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Where have I heard that before? Anyway, that was my soapbox moment. I will move on. And oh, actually, I do have more about this one. Let me see if I can grab that. There it is. So, this week, the release of the Archewell Foundation annual impact report revealed that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry launched a new initiative this year called the Welcome Project, inspired by the Duchess of Sussex's service work with the UK based Hub Community Kitchen following the devastating Grenfell Tower fire in 2017. The new project supports women led programming for recently resettled Afghan women to help build more inclusive and connected communities. Well, as you guys know, the Sussexes were very early to speak out about the plight of the Afghan women, the Afghanistan people in general. When the United States left Afghanistan, it created a power vacuum. And the Sussexes were very quick off the blocks to try to help and support. With 11 already active program projects across the nation in states like California, Montana, Texas, Wisconsin, Georgia, Massachusetts, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., the program is already making impactful progress within communities. The foundation's decision to focus on Afghan women stemmed from the intense social isolation and demographic faced during relocation. To foster a sense of belonging, the Welcome Project not only offer bonding activities, but also access to employment opportunities, educational, entrepreneurial resources, and more. We know that when women are well resourced and empowered to direct their own future, said the Archewell Foundation in a statement, per People magazine, they not only build a better life for themselves, but also dramatically improve the lives of those around them, their families, and their community. In other words, supporting women means supporting communities. Got it? Do you get me? You get me. I love when British people say that. You get me. Celebrities guest edit magazines. Royals don't guess at magazines. You get me? Right, Black Queen? You see, the more you say it and the faster you say it, the less you're able to stay in character. One more time. Celebrities guess at magazine. You get me? Anyway, so I suppose you get me. Anyhow, I do have the troll spray on. Oh, I almost forgot to do that. That would have been awkward. Make sure I got that going. Anyway, so as I was saying, Royals, no, I'm not that again. But that is the new thing that the Sussexes got going on. And it was something that they were quick to jump on when the United States was pulling out and all that kind of stuff. So good on them. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Aha, let me put that in place. So I will have that prepared for laters. And then, okay, 1 second here. Ha! Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Uh, okay, that. Get rid of that. Move that. You ought to see my little dexterous hands moving here. Okay, and we're good. We are so good. Let's see, KDV, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And by the way, DR, thank you so much for the PayPal earlier. Got that a few hours ago. Thank you. And also, I think I got a. Did I get a Venmo? No, that was yesterday. Um. Huh. Oh, HS. Thank you so much for the Cash App earlier today. Greatly appreciate it. I think that was it. As I remember those. Hey, Lydia, Bunny Rose, Elaine Parker, Black Queen, Vanessa Jones, Judy Matassit, Maggie Howe. Thanks for being here. Oh, so that was what I was just reading. So, anyway, you guys, there seems to be a lot of overestimating, over inflating of the Cambridges. And I just call them the Cambridges because I hate saying Wellses. Not that I'm trying to take that away from them, but it reminds me of Princess Diana. So if I say Cambridge, it's just sometimes my nerves can only handle Cambridge and not saying the other thing. So, anyway, what I wanted to say is this, that at this moment when there are so many people arguing back and forth on social media, among other places, about who is doing the most. Well, who has always done the most? When Harry was there before he ever met our Duchess, who was doing the most? Harry. Um, and same thing, before the Duchess met Harry, who was doing the most? Meghan. Those were the two people that were doing the most before they even met each other. Meghan has always, since she was a child, had an eye toward humanitarian work. Always. That is so deeply ingrained in her DNA. That is so huge in her life and has been. Like, for instance, we just spoke about Afghanistan. Um, Out of the four senior royals that are either sons or daughter in laws of Charles III, which one of them actually was out protesting against the war in the Gulf, in Iraq? Meghan, who worked soup kitchens and such. Well, Meghan, and I think Harry and his brother. No, Meghan for sure. Meghan for sure. Um, but the point is, she's always been about that. He's always been about that. Life prepared him to carry out his mother's legacy, right? So, right here, since Prince Harry and Meghan stepped back from being a working British royal, they have accomplished much, even during the pandemic. And thank you for the squatty who made this, which has destroyed the lives of so many people and animals. See also the other accomplishments they have. Oh, that's kind of blurry. Report it to the IRS in the comment section below. So, thing is, I've had this for a while. This is not something that somebody just made. I think I've had this for a couple years, maybe. But anyway, you can see Meghan bringing awareness about the elephants. And of course, there's Harry with the better up. And I don't know what that other. Oh, that's the food truck at the King Center. I'm going from left to right. There's the Sussexes. You know, it's been so much you easily forget when they went to Melba's and they donated money to Melba for her to use however she wanted. And they divvied up that money for Christmas. And there were literally people in tears. I haven't seen that kind of crying since the Oprah Winfrey show, the Live to Lead, the speech at the UN, and of course, raising money for Cintabale with the polo. But me, you can't see. Meghan wins her case. There they are out delivering food. The speech at One Young World, and of course the NAACP President's Award, and of course being chosen the 100 most influential people by Time Magazine, and the um, Archetypes, right? The docuseries. They've been working. Invictus, Invictus, right? Let me see. It was two of them, right? So yeah, we had the Invictus games, and of course the bench, the Vax Live. What else? Trying to see if I didn't miss anything. Oh, and those books. There were two books. That's what's missing here is Meghan's book, but there were two books. So, oh, and The Heart of Invictus. Let us not forget the movie, The Heart of Invictus. And Meghan accepted the award in New York's. Okay, so maybe I didn't have this a couple of years. Oh, you know what? I had this earlier this year. What am I saying? Not a couple of years. But yeah, I've had this for a while though. But all of those things that have been going on, and you hear the royal reporters gaslighting people, droning on about how little the Sussexes have done, and how and even trying to say, oh, they only worked an hour a week, an hour, as if, are you insane? I used to love when uh, uh, Tina Michelle, when Tina would say that to people, are you insane? Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And good morning to you. Thank you for being here. So, um, yeah, with all of these things going on, how dare they? How dare they? But they keep trying it. They keep trying us. Oh, yeah, Megan's Archetype People Choice Award. Don't want to miss that. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle receives the Ripple of Hope Award. Whoever the squatty was that put this together, very good job. Very good job. Oh, and the playground. I see that. I missed that one. They built the playground. Come on. Megan's trip to Uvalde. And then there was that trip to Ohio. We still don't know what that was completely about because there was no video. But remember, Megan is always pushing and pushing into trying to get in front of the cameras. There were no cameras. We have a grainy image of Megan leaving that event. Oh, what about the trip to New York for the Intrepid? Almost forgot about that one. You see, it just goes on and on. This ain't even everything. There's still got to be a few missing. And then, what I just stumbled upon this. Do you guys remember this? Do you remember this? They weren't even settled. They were not even settled. And look at that. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry donates 130,000 to charity to close to their hearts rather to close their heart, close to their hearts. The Sussexes donate $130,000 to the African Girl Education Charity for Prince Harry's birthday. Huh? They have been busy. They're walking the walk and they're talking the talk. They are doing the most. So go forward, you all, into the world with these talking points, just in case you need to drop some logic on someone. There is plenty there. There's a lot of there. So whatever they try to pull, we know better. Okay, let me. And right here, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle pledged £90,000 to the hunger charity during their pandemic crisis. I don't know if we could say the C word yet, so I keep, you know, substituting. Um, the Sussexes are delighted to see the money go to such a great cause. That was April of 2020. Like I said, they weren't even settled yet. They were not even settled yet. And they were doing the most. This was all about intention. This was announcing to the world, this is how we are going to live the rest of our lives. We are going to settle our family, right? We're going to settle our family. We're moving into our own place. We're going to work. We're going to be executive producers. And we are going to have this foundation, among other things. So, the better up, that was a real surprise. Now, take a look at these uh, contrasts. Jan Moore, good deeds from Meghan Markle, yes, but who do they help the most? So that was Jan Moore's thing about the cookbook. Meghan discreetly went back and forth to the hub kitchen. Duchess of Sussex's cookbook sells 130,000 copies to make 557,638 pounds for Grenfell Community Kitchen. Sarah Vine with her nonsense. My memo to Meghan Markle following her Vogue editorial: we Brits prefer true royalty over fashion royalty. And then what does it say right next door at the Town and Country? Meghan Markle's capsule collection has already provided SmartWorks with enough clothing for a year. You see how ridiculous that hate is? For every item purchased, one is donated to a charity that prepares underprivileged women for the job market. Okay, I got one more. Brace yourselves. Incoming. This is from Jan Moore again. The cause Meghan Markle is mostly supporting is the Me, Myself, and I Foundation. Yet, you can see Duchess Meghan signed voiceover deal with Disney in exchange for donation to elephant charity, report says. These gatekeepers, these angry Karens, if Kate had done just a tenth of what Meghan has been doing and continues to do, I would praise Kate for being so whatever. But the thing is, it's not really possible because she doesn't really do anything. The stuff that she does is all vanity. It is all to elevate her status. It does not move the dial for anyone. It is just something that says We're doing things, we're moving. It doesn't bring enough awareness that it profits the agencies that she's working with. When have we ever seen an influx of donations or cash for any place that they've ever gone? It is hard to inspire people to do that when you haven't brought a flipping thing. How do you inspire people to give when you're not giving? You come in for your poverty tourism and then you leave. Now, full disclosure, I didn't create these three comparisons. You know, I don't take credit for other people's work, but my God, is this profound. I don't even know who put this together, and I've had this for a while, but this is why I keep stuff, because you never know when you need to go back and make reference to it. So I just hang on to it, locked away in my files. Uh, but yeah, you got these three different things where Jan Moore, Sarah Vine, and then Jet, known haters, they are trying to conjure up all of these negative thoughts and feelings and emotions, these knee jerk reactions of hostility for people they don't know, but they are feeding. Remember, I kept saying the other day, stop taking in that poison. This is toxic. This is poison. This is used to draw the people into the Daily Mail so that they will become dependent on negative, bad news. And who does it serve? Well, it puts money in the writers' pockets, right? And of course, it takes away the goodwill that should be going toward these agencies, these not for profits that could use more help. So instead of talking about what can I do, right, like the Sussex squad with the fundraising, we turn these things into action. The Sussex squad, we raise funds, we mobilize. But what does the Karens do? What does these haters do? These hounds of hell, what do? They get into their groups and their chats and they just feed more of this nonsense. Unbelievable. And guess what? This just came out today, 15 hours ago. Yesterday, SmartWorks was featured on the BBC National News in the important piece on the employment landscape in the UK. We extend our sincere thanks to the BBC News for highlighting our work and sharing our mission with the nation. Now, of course, as you know, the Duchess of Sussex worked with the SmartWorks. That was one of those things that were near and dear to her heart. As a matter of fact, I believe she's still a patron, right? I know she's I know she stays. Meghan always stays in touch. I do believe she's still a patron, but you wouldn't know it because it's not safe for her to go over there to visit. Mr, thank you so much for the Cash App. And thank you so much for being here tonight on Royal Sussex. Now, let me play that little sound bite for that particular video. Got a little sound bite for you. It would not be complete without a sound bite. So, let me grab that. That is so not me. I'm so prepared tonight. I don't know what to say. I'm freaking myself out. I'm so prepared. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. I started exactly on time. I got all of my sound bites lined up and everything. You know what? I'm going to have to make at least a couple of mistakes so that way you won't think this is somebody else. I don't want you guys to think you're on the wrong channel. So here goes.
They wanted to succeed. For a fresh outlook, this charity helps women with outfits and coaching for job interviews. It can be a winning finishing touch for those who've been chasing work for a while. The coaching and the dressing it played a key aspect in kind of boosting my confidence again, because you have people that genuinely want you to succeed.
We found this year our clients have taken longer to find a job, and they're having to go to more job interviews in order to then secure their job. And often they're telling us that they're going to jobs that they feel overqualified for. So again, there's this slight mismatch between what they feel capable of and then the job opportunities that are out there.
Okay, I could have done without that music, but anyway, you get the point. They're making it do what it do. So the one of the voices you heard, the last voice you heard, was that lady that you see on the screen there. So yeah, they are doing the most. And how cool is that? Every time you buy a piece is gifted to some very needy, determined woman who is trying to get back into the workforce, trying to find a good job. That way they can have the confidence to go in. And everything you see those ladies wearing right there, the blazer, the white button down shirt, the black dress, the blue dress, all of that, and a big tote bag, which of course you can use as your briefcase. All of that was available. The tote bags sold out really fast. And so SmartWorks and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, they partner with designers to put that stuff out there at different shops. Was it just one shop or several shops? And you could buy it, and whatever you purchase, they would gift a identical or something similar to someone who needs it to find work. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Now, Prince William pins forward. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to say this with a straight face. Prince William pins forward to cookbook celebrating the passage of 40th anniversary. His help with the homeless organization cookbook recalls Meghan Markle's 2018 charity cookbook made in partnership with the Hub Community Kitchen. You know, for some people that were so determined to push Meghan away, I'm starting to see Meghan's legacy in just 18 months of marriage. No, I won't say that it is rivaling that of Princess Diana's, but it's making quite the impact. It's very reminiscent of the impact that Princess Diana has had on that antiquated institution. It really is. Time and time again, the generation of which William and our beloved light-skinned Harry was born, it seems as though that same energy has been put out there thanks to Meghan. Okay, not identical, not in competition of or anything, but it's just weird to see how you have an outsider of the family come in there and change the way everybody is working. Charles is hugging people, William is hugging people, Kate is hugging people. Hey, remember when there were no selfies? Remember when Meghan could not do a selfie? She had to tell people, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do selfies. Now they will snatch the phone out your hand. They will push a little child face down in the mud so they can get to your phone. so they could take a selfie with you. Yeah, they will elbow their royal protection in the stomach just so they can get your picture with them. Okay? The poor royal protection officer all doubled over and wincing with pain. It doesn't matter. We got to take this selfie because that's what we do now. We take selfies. You dig? You get me? We're fantasizing over aubergines and accusing people of touching our bums because we got to get these selfies, right? That's what we doing now. We all about the selfies. Ooh, we got to get these selfies. Come on, y'all. Let's take this selfie. We got to take this selfie. Come on, get over here. You too. Yes, yes, the fat one. Get over here. We all taking selfies today. Got to get them selfies now. That's who we are. Oh, they so phony. Anyway, I'm going to get back to that nonsense with the Cambridges later. Meghan Markle was in conversation with David Aiello and Misan Harriman last month. See, I'm telling you, everything is going so well today. 2 days ago, if I would have tried to say his name, I wouldn't have been able to get it out. David Aiello. Anyway, just under a month ago, a private residence in Montecito, Meghan Markle was in conversation at Netflix event The After with David Aiello and Misan Harriman. Photos have just been shared from the event, which shows the Duchess of Sussex sitting in front of a screen with Aiello and Harriman, appearing to be the one interviewing them. The After is Harriman's debut short film, which follows Deo Aiello, a Londoner who has to reconnect himself with society after witnessing a devastating random attack in the capital. Ooh, isn't that something? That just sounds juicy. Okay, so voila. Misan Harriman says, here are some images from a very special screening of The After, moderated by the Duchess of Sussex. It was extra special to have her and so many of my film idols watch this film. Thank you for coming to all the guests and Netflix for hosting The After, streaming now on Netflix, produced by Nikki Bentham, directed by me. Image credit to Emma McIntyre. Okay, so let's see what Emma's got. Ah, oh, ooh, Montecito, California, November. From left to right, you got Dave Aiello, Misan Harriman, and the Duchess, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, speak during the After LA Tastemaker Netflix at a private residence on November 15th, 2023 in Montecito. Wow. Okay, so there you go. That is the photo. There's one more, by the way. And doesn't our girl look good? She has gone for the chocolates. Yes. I love seeing Meghan in brown. It really brings out her golden complexion. Love seeing her in brown. TV says, Baron, you should post a comparison pic as a short or on the other platform. They should do the same. I'm going to screenshot and post it too. Very good. I have no idea what you're talking about. What comparison? You know what? When I'm in the zone, I tend to forget what I just talked about. But I will go back and take a look at it later. I promise. But yeah, so there you go. There is Misan Harriman David Aiello. See, I was on a roll with him. David Aiello and Duchess, the Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. But don't they look good? And sitting in those director chairs and everything. That is so true, Sherry. Oh yes, somebody's up right now. Somebody's on Amazon. Let's see. I think the royal family has forgotten their role as modern royals. King Edward VII set the standard to cultivating a positive personal persona among the people. Diana understood this as well. And and best of all, Diana was just being herself. She was just being herself. You know, it was like I was saying the other day, I don't have the words that or the training. I don't have the education that Meredith has, but in spirit, we are very like-minded. And in my own little folksy way, I've been saying some of the same things. I've been pointing out some of the same things. So, sometimes it's not so much what you've been exposed to as it is what's in you. And that's how Harry is. Harry is no formal education. Diana didn't have any formal education, but it's just what's inside of him. And what's inside of Harry, what was inside his mom, carries so much more weight than people who are supposed to be the experts. Or as they say, sometimes you just don't have enough sense to know you can't do it. And next thing you know, you've done it. So that's funny how life works like that, isn't it? But isn't it a wonderful thing? Okay. What's that? Is that the Royal Sussex Amazon wish list? Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I got some stuff from the wish list today. I got the organizer for my trunk. It's hard to explain, but they're blocks that have Velcro. I got my little finger piano thing. And what else did I get? And something else. But anyway, I did get some stuff from Amazon today. So thank you so much for that. I got to learn how to play this thing. I really want to play that NBC theme. But yeah, so I got that. And there's something else. Oh, wait a minute. So easy. I can just go take a look. And this time I didn't almost cut my hand off trying to get to it. So that's a good thing. Oh, and some winter gloves. Thank you. And I got some winter gloves just in time. Last time I got a brush for my car, snow brush. Now I got my gloves. I am ready to go. So thank you, Sussex Squad. Okay, so there's the other photo. There's this and this. This and this. This is photo number 2. And that's it. There's just the 2 photos that have Meghan. Not that I don't care about the rest of those people, but I only got the photos of Meghan. I'm a little selfish. I just got Meghan's photos with Misan and David. Because truly, as far as I'm concerned, that's about the only thing that matters right now. But yeah, how cool was that? How cool was that? Nice little surprise. Just when we were getting starved for attention, then suddenly those photos came out. So thank you, Madam Duchess. Okay, I just put the link for the Royal Sussex wish list at the top of the screen. There we go. And continuing on this theme, let me see, where are we here? Take a look at a couple of your comments. Oh, yes, African parks. Thank you. See, I told you there's major stuff missing from that list. Sister and Cece, haven't seen you for a bit. Okay. Okay, Desiree Dodson, greetings to you too. Anastasia. Oh yeah, Anastasia says she looks so beautiful in her outfit, but a certain copycat Kate cat is going to copy her, and soon, and soon. There is going to be a ton of boxes left at the gates of Kensington Palace tomorrow. Hazel Jones says Edward VII also didn't hold title and honors over a family head. He made his granddaughters princesses and raised his niece from an from an HH to an HRH. Also, Her Royal Highness to wait. What is a HH? What is a HH to a HRH? Her Royal Highness. So she could marry. Oh, really? I did not know that. Hazel Joan, you are a wealth of knowledge. Kidda, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm going to continue. And this was a little surprise. I don't know which Invictus this is from, but I've never seen this. It's on a private page, Instagram account. It's on a private account, but somebody managed to spirit a couple of these photos away from that account. And so on account of that, I can share these photos with you. I love to see Harry having a good time because, it's so often that he's out in public and whatever the weight of the world that's on his shoulders, he's not smiling as much. So anytime we can see Harry smile is a good day. And that guy on the left side, doesn't he look like Paul Walker? God, he looks like Paul Walker. But anyway, the guy that owns the account is the one that Harry has his arm around, the guy with the mullet. I don't know if you can tell. It looks like Kate is standing behind him, right? That's actually a mullet. So what appears to be a hairpiece is actually his hair. And he is in the 2000s, the 2020s at that probably, he is sporting a mullet. They say it takes all kinds. It takes all kinds. Oh, that was in Germany? Thank you, Susie Q. That was in Germany. Very cool. Thank you so much. How can you tell, though? I'm just curious. How can you tell? I'm looking for the tail myself. But anyway, I won't fuss about it, though. I appreciate your input. And so, if you haven't seen my preview, there you go. Harry, who? Royals to put on a united front at Buckingham Palace reception tonight as they brush off Omid Scobie's racism row with a series of engagements with adoring members of the public. What makes you think everybody in the public adores them? A royal charm offensive. That's what it says. Prince of Wales left shoppers stunned this morning after he was spotted selling the magazine outside of a Tesco, et cetera, et cetera. Let me see here. Black Queen, 18 months membership. Baron Squatties was asking if you could do a short showing Harry and Meghan's accomplishments compared to the lazy do-nothing welfare unroyals. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. Oh, okay. So that's what. Okay, I get you. Yeah, certainly. Oh my goodness, that timeline is gonna kill me, but I will do my best. Long as it doesn't have to be in chronological order. That might be a bit of a worry because I don't have everything in order, although a lot of them do have dates. So I will do my best to try to make something cohesive out of it. But yeah, I could do that. So yeah, stay tuned. I will definitely work on that. Now, take a look here. Now it's William, not Harry. Uh-oh, my little red line moved. It should be under Harry. It's William, not Harry. Isn't this the second thing that I've shown you that compares William to somebody else? Why do we even need to do that? Why is that necessary? I'll tell you why. Because there's no there. If there was something to William, we wouldn't have to do that. But because there's so little there, it is necessary to illustrate these things clearly, which is why I underlined it. So he wrote a foreword because of Meghan. So he's hugging people because of Harry and Meghan. Oh, get a life, you guys. Get a life of your own and stop being such a body snatcher. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Where is it? Yeah, they're like the invasion of the body snatchers. Get a life of your own. Anyway, where was it? Nope, that's not it. There it is right there. So, see there? Prince William pins a forward. Now Prince William's hugging everybody. I mean, they're not even subtle, are they? They're not even subtle. They just do it. And of course, who can forget the Invictus Games? It was such an incredible moment for the Sussexes. It caused a panic amongst the Rangers. It was all that, and they couldn't take it. I thought they were going to implode. Black Queen says you cannot fake charisma and genuine personality. Lord, these folks are a hot mess. You know, one of my favorite lines from Mother Jefferson. Remember Mother Jefferson on the Jeffersons? George kind of yelled at his mother. And she said, George. How did she say it? I think she said, George. Something she said. I don't think she said yell, but anyway, she told him, she said, George, I changed your diapers. You were a mess then, and you're still a mess. George, I changed your diapers. You were a mess then, and you're still a mess. Imagine all these years. I remember that from the 1970s. Lex says, at all that money and wank can't buy a personality. No, he's renting a guy from NBC to try to fill that void. So he's using somebody else's personality to try to mimic what human behavior is for himself. Yeah, it makes you wonder, what does a sociopath do? They rent a personality. Thank you so much, Legs. Oh, make this screen a little brighter. You were a mess then, and you're still a mess. Anyway, I love that photo of Harry and Meghan surrounded by Team Nigeria. You know, I wonder if that is on my old computer. I bet you I am missing all kind of stuff because, yes, all of that is on my old computer. Okay, I got to get that thing fixed. This is ruining my life. This is ruining my life now. You see what I mean? I am ruined. All of my fun stuff is locked on that old computer that is in dire need of repair, and I just don't know if I'll be able to do that before New Year's because, well, I mean, it's the holidays and things are so busy, and I hate to go out and into malls and shopping districts and stuff, but I got to do something because this is um, this is not good. Yep, I didn't think about that before now, but it certainly is not here. Although, huh? Well, no, 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 that doesn't work. Anyway, let me not think about it right now because I got work to do. So instead of me doing what I usually do, and that's digging through photos and videos and stuff like that, best to keep busy because we got a lot to cover. And if I should happen to come across what promise you I'm not looking for right now, if I should happen to come across it, then I'll share it. But because I'm not looking for it, and because I can do that later, then it's a moot point. So that's why I'm putting my phone down because I know it's not there either. Oh man, I got to do something. I got to get that computer fixed. Now it is vital. Now I am starting to really miss it. Now, Princess Kate baby bank commercial criticized by anti-poverty campaigners. Well, according to Celebici and according to Republic and quite a few other people, this was a bad, bad move. You would have thought she would have learned something from doing that commercial where she was asking people to dig a little deeper um, to help other people. And this is coming from someone whose husband has just inherited $1 billion fortune. And you're asking people, I mean, the caucasity of it, you are asking people to dig a little deeper, and you and your husband are sitting on top of $1 billion fortune. Make that make sense. How does that work where you have just hit the jackpot? Do you know how much scheming Carol Middleton has done in her life to get this close to the big prize? And you're sitting up there asking people to dig in their pockets and look under the couch cushions and stuff? Are you insane? Said Tina. Are you insane? You got a problem? What your problem is? Huh? What your problem is? You're sitting on top of $1 billion fortune and you're really asking other people to dig a little deeper. What year is this? Are you well? Yeah, so there's been a bit of a backlash about all of this stuff. And well, anyway, it's making the two of them look really stupid right now. And well, people are talking about it. And one thing that they said about the royal families is that when these royal families collapse, when countries that have the monarchy decide to get rid of the monarchy, it is not the people that are the anti-royalists, the anti-monarchists, or the Republicans, if you will. They're not the ones that decide these things. It is the people who have followed the royal families. It is the people that have supported, has shown deference, have celebrated, have watched them do their little parades and processions. Those are the ones that bring them down. They're the one, it's not coming from outside, it's coming from inside. Those are the people that eventually bring them down. So this idea that Harry and Meghan are going to destroy the royal family, no, they're going to do it to themselves. Do you see what they're doing right now? They are doing this to themselves. It won't be because of the Sussex squad, I can assure you that. It won't be any of that. It is going to come from them. They are their own worst enemies. They are their own worst enemies, and they will sow the seeds of their destruction, and nobody else. It's these classic images like this. This is what it has turned into, where you have so many people that are living in poverty, and the toffs, if you will, they're going about their business. They're partying like it's 1899. Of course, I was dreaming when I wrote that, so sue me if I go too fast. Dun, 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 dun. Well, yeah, they're partying like it's 1899. See what I did there? Anyway, let me be serious now. So they're partying like it's 1899, and people are fed up with it. They are fed up with it. And when you have William and Kate, the newest billionaires, with all this performative nonsense, while new parents can't even afford baby products, Kate Middleton and her children visit a baby bank for a photo opportunity. Good wishes won't take 4.2 million children out of poverty, but redistribution of the royals' wealth just might. And don't forget, you guys, this was supposed to be, where was that thing at? Where was the one I read yesterday about them surprise visit or whatever? It was supposed to be a private, yeah, a private. I think it said, oh, right there it is, right there, a private family outing. I cannot wrap my brain around that. George, Charlotte, and Louis volunteer at Baby Bank with Mom Kate in private family outing. Again, private family outing. You heard me. A private family outing, which just so happened to have a film crew, a photographer, makeup artist, new clothing, all of the accoutrements necessary to ensure that they are picture perfect. They were either going to the baby bank or they were doing a Ralph Lauren commercial. And where did the guitar music come from? I heard a guitar strumming and some synthetic piano music. You mean to tell me they got that at the baby bank? Because if they do, I'll go hang out there. I can get some free toys, right? I can get some free Ralph Lauren or whatever label they were wearing, Oshkosh, Bigosh, whatever. And I can get hair extensions, as evident, right? I mean, was it a trip to the baby bank or was that a trip to the salon? Because if you ask me, it looked like Kate got some hair extensions and perhaps her skin has been rejuvenated by any means necessary. Yeah, I didn't know they do that kind of work down at the baby bank. That sounds like something that they do down at Earl Shives, where they'll paint any car, any color for just $69.95. Remember Earl Shive? That I'm Earl Shive. We'll paint any car, any color. Earl Shive used to have a body shop, right? And they had a special paint job. For $69.95, they would paint any car, any color for just $69.95. Now, of course, at that price, they also paint the corners of the window, half of the license plate, and sometimes the wheel covers. But you're only paying $69.95. So, yeah, it looks like Kate has gone down to Earl Shop. It looks like Kate has made a trip down to Earl Shives. So um, I haven't seen her license plate or her wheel covers. And of course, all of the chrome bumpers and decals and stuff. But yeah, Earl Shive used to paint everything. Even stuff you didn't want painted, he'd paint it for just $69.95. So let's see. And then these were some of the comments from yesterday that I had shared. But the two that I'd like to share with you here is they could stay home, write a check, and change the lives of every single person in this country without making so much as a blip on their bank accounts. But instead, they'll use the woe of struggling people as a personal PR exercise. And see, these are not squatties, you guys. Even though, and how many times do I repeat this? And I'm going to keep saying it because it's important. Even though with our narrow scope, our narrow field of vision, it seems like there are so many people that are after the Sussexes, and that's just not true. It seems like there's just so many people that are royalists, and that's just not true. What is the truth is that they are on the knife's edge. They are on the brink of extinction, the royal family. And the only way, um, by the way, someone had posted a video of Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison said, if the only way you could be tall is to make sure that everybody else is on their knees, you got a problem. Again, if the only way that you can be tall is to make sure that other people are down on their knees, you got a problem. If that's what it takes for you to stand tall, is to try to tear down someone else, that's a mental illness. And that's one of the things that Toni Morrison said about racism. Racism is more destructive to the person who is what do you call it? That is being prejudiced. Is more destructive to them than anybody else because they destroy the world around them. They're the ones that have the worst problem because from day to day, yes, we encounter microaggressions and stuff, but for the most part, you know, I, like a lot of people, I just go about my business. But when I least expect it, oh, there goes racism. But the person who's racist, they harbor this hostility day after day after day. They're always looking for the boogeyman. They're always looking for something to be wrong. They have no joy in their lives. And they believe that their lives are improved if we can just get rid of that Duchess, which I'm going to substitute for if we can just get rid of those black people or those Asian people or whoever. And we can just get rid of them, everything's going to be okay. That's not logical. That is not logical. This other person says, remember that time Harry and Meghan anonymously did volunteer work during the pandemic and then got called out for being altruistic, even though we only found out when someone sold the CCTV footage, the closed circuit television footage. That's how we found out. It's not because they brought in a film crew. It's not because they got hair extensions in the back room of the place and maybe got some tape to pull their faces back tight or had somebody take a syringe and plump up their cheeks and their jowls. And that's not how that happened. That didn't happen. They didn't roll up in a Range Rover and pretend like there's not a camera in the corner over there. They didn't do that. They didn't do any of that stuff. They just put on their casual clothes and baseball caps, and they went out there and they handled their business. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't have like a glam squad and a new sweater and some skinny jeans or leggings or whatever that crap is. They didn't have any of that. They don't need that. They're Harry and Meghan. So they didn't have to taste the taste by tasting it, or smell the taste by tasting it, or taste the smell by. You all, I don't know what's wrong with me today, but they didn't have to taste the taste by tasting it. They didn't have to do any of that stuff. They didn't have to smell the smell by smelling it. They didn't have to smell the taste by smelling it, or taste the taste by, or you know what I mean. Whatever that nonsense is that Kitty said, they didn't have to do any of that stuff. Okay, y'all, let me stop because I got a lot to cover. Kate Middleton and Prince William's vast wealth, $1 billion, I'm sorry, £1 billion assets and massive annual income. Prince William's struggling. I'm not. What am I saying? Let me take a good look. Prince William's staggering fortune can be revealed thanks to annual public report, and it has certainly increased since the late Queen's death in September 2022. I'm telling y'all, he hit the jackpot. Mary A said, I had a cookie in my mouth when you said hair extension. Oh, each charity facing a £2 million deficit to close Milton and Ipswich offices. That's because Kate got involved. A children's home run by charity Kate Middleton supports shut down over safeguarding fears. A damning Ofsted report said there were serious child protection allegations at the home, which is run by Action for Children, a charity backed by dozens of celebrities and Kate Middleton. The thing is, them celebrities, they got real jobs, so they ain't got time to go over there and look in. But Kate, who don't do anything but sit at home and yell at the nanny, yell at the cook, taste the taste by smelling it, and what else? And buy stuff from Amazon to look like Meghan. She's the one that got time to say, is everything okay over here? Is there something I can do? Does anybody need me to taste the smell by tasting it? Huh? Does anybody need me to smell the smell by tasting it? Because it appears that I have some extra time. Of course, I got time. I'm Kate Middleton. I don't do anything from one day to the next. All I do is strap on hair extensions. That doesn't take a lot. So I can taste the smell by smelling it. Okay. Woo. Okay, I'm not gonna say that again. Oh Lord. That tickled me so bad though. Woo! That tickled me so bad. Oh, you'd had to been there. Oh man. Okay. So I'm not going to say it again. That was the last time I'm going to say what I just said. But what if I show it to you? Huh? What if I show it to you? I won't say that again, but I can show you, right? Huh? Is that okay if I just show it to you? That time she went to that kiosk and they were letting her sniff the individual types of tea. And because she is such a wordsmith, I'm being sarcastic, but because she is such a wordsmith, she literally said, "Can you taste the smell by smelling it?" And of course, the courtiers and the royal protection officers, they had to swallow really hard. They had to swallow really hard because when you're working with somebody like this and they say something like that, you have to really think about your loyalty at that moment. Do I run? Do I laugh? Um, should I make sure I clear my esophagus in case I choke on my own saliva? What do I do at this point? You do what everybody else do. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. When you're out with the Princess of Wales, you taste the smell by smelling it. Okay, my side hurt. Let me stop. Let me stop. We got stuff to cover. Whew. Mm-mm-mm. Um, Olin Mills Portrait Studios. So I thought for sure it was Sears Roebucks. Somebody said J.C. Penney's, and then I heard somebody say Montgomery Ward. Well, apparently, this squatty is of the opinion that it's Olin Mills Portrait Studio. But either way, while they were at the local tea kiosk, or while they were out buying hair extensions or whatever, they must have popped into a local portrait studio and came out with this interesting family portrait. So, but yeah, so that's the latest theory is Olin Mills. Now, having a royal patron does not pay for charities. Having a member of the royal family as patron is perhaps the most sought after prize in charity. But beyond lifting spirits and gracing its headed note paper and website, a royal patron brings no discernible boost to a charity's income, a study has found. Well, unless it's Harry and Meghan, okay? Harry can raise some money. Meghan can raise some money, but not these two. Researchers looked into the revenue of charities before and after they appointed royals as patrons and compared these to those of similar charities, but found no consistent pattern. From the data available, we suspect that the effect of royal patrons on charity revenue small or zero. They concluded that they said that charities should not seek or retain royal patrons thinking that they will bring the charity money. The study by Giving Evidence, a charity consultancy, told charities hoping for a flurry of royal engagements and prestigious events in palaces to lower their expectations. Now, that's a hell of a day when somebody looks at the billionaire and his wife and they say, listen, lower your expectations, okay? We're talking Will and Kate. Just lower your expectations. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Don't even worry about it, bruh. Don't even worry about it. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Vargas, I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you so much for the super chat. And Audrey Teschner, thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind of you. So let me see here. Now, I'm going to try to make sense out of this chart. No promises. Royal patronages, royal family members. Let's see, charities, others. Total. Okay. So Duke of Edinburgh. Oh, this must have been for a while ago. Duke. No. Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. He had 65 charities and 503 other what? Anyway, Prince William had. Oh no, that's Charles, Prince of Wales. 220. The Queen had 198. Princess Royale, Princess Anne, Afro Annie, 114. Duke of York, 60. Gloucester, 53. Duchess of Cornwall, 62. Kent, 45. Alexandria, 69. And Sophie, Countess of Wessex, had 46. So, of the 1,187 charities registered in the United Kingdom with a royal patron, 3/4 had no public engagement. So, they don't even bother with these people. The study described an uneven geographical spread of charities with royal patrons and suggested that convenience may be a factor, with chosen charities more likely to be within easy traveling distance. So, you know what? It's not even how badly or how desperately these charities need money. It doesn't matter what the charities are doing. Now, remember, the people of the United Kingdom are paying 350 million pounds per year to support the monarchy. And that's in exchange for, the official events, pomp and circumstance, and of course, charity work. But it doesn't benefit the charities. They're not having a Jerry Lewis telethon, right? You're not going to see Will and Kate hosting a Jerry Lewis like telethon. They don't have enough stamina for that. They don't have enough energy. They don't have enough patience to do something like that. They would probably start the show, sit in a box somewhere, and let other people do the work, and then come out at the end to announce how much has been raised. And then they go back to, a matter of fact, they would start the telethon and go back home, and then come back in time to say, this is how much we raised. That would be the extent of it. They wouldn't do any of the work. Duke and Duchess of Cambridge Royal Foundation had the most, with 80 engagements listed in the court circular, followed by the Duke of Edinburgh Award, 62, and the International Award Foundation, 56, and two of the Prince of Wales, meaning of course Charles at the time, charities, the Prince's Foundation, 36, and the Prince's Trust. So anyway, much to do about nothing. It does not benefit those charities significantly at all. Not even with the Queen did it really move anything. May bring other benefits, those that can be measured. It also found exceptions, notably the Princess Royal, who is the past 3 years fulfilled 42 engagements with Save the Children. Yeah, well, that was good. That was good. So, it's not totally for naught. And there are people that are going to show up to be with the royals, but they're not necessarily giving any more than they would have in the first place. I guess that's the difference. The fake news brought to you by GBN. Ofcom certified, not a news channel. Red meat for gullible idiots. Now, I believe I got this from that squatty yesterday. Remember, I found that account yesterday. I don't want to say the squatty's name, but I think maybe she had this posted on her thread somewhere. But that pretty much size it up. It's fake news brought to you by GBN. Red meat for gullible idiots. I think that GBN should use this. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't cost them anything because if the right wing Brexiteer people in the UK are anything like the MAGA people here in the US, and they are very much alike, it doesn't hurt. You could say the most offensive things and they ain't going nowhere. Ask Donald Trump. A collapsed business and debt in millions, keeping up with the Middletons. See what they did there? Instead of keeping up with the Kardashians, it's keeping up with the Middletons. As party pieces is sold, leaving small vendors out of pocket, James Middleton appears to be having business woes of his own. Luciana Bellini has the latest from the royal in-laws. So yeah, they have gone belly up just like the rest of their lives have. They are being bombarded by laminated signs in their hometown, right? They have a son-in-law that just got $1 billion and he ain't coming off of nothing. Uncle Gary is so hard up, he's trying to write a book. So yeah, I think they're kind of, they ain't poor, but they don't have that uh, that flexibility that they used to have, right? Wow, 77 million Australian dollars. That is quite impressive. That is very impressive. Congrats. So, as before mentioned, as I was looking through my material today, I found these. Do you remember this photo from when they first got to California and they discreetly went out to deliver food to people who were too afraid or were urged to not travel away from their homes during the global pandemic. And there they are, just in their little casual weekend clothes. Meghan is wearing the M9, uh, M whatever they call that mask, the best available. And Harry decided that he would rock that bandana. Yeah. And you know what? What tells me that bandana was probably used by the Duchess of Sussex, and Harry, who just can't get enough of his wife, is probably just sitting up there, just smelling it, tasting the smell by smelling it, just smelling the. That's probably what she used to tie her hair down with, and he just said, "My wife's hair." So that's why he's using that. It's not that he can't afford to have a mask. He just wanted to sniff his wife's hair all day. I think it's very sweet. Very, very sweet. Oh, look. Now, you guys know normally I don't like to share paparazzi photos, but to be fair, there was not a royal Sussex at the time. So I'm going to say that these photos have been grandfathered into the channel. Yeah. Yeah, they have been grandfathered into the channel. So that's the only reason why I'm sharing these paparazzi photos. But integrity is really determined by what you do when you think nobody is watching. And when they say that they are in love, I choose her, she chooses me, we're a team. That's exactly what they are. That is exactly what they are. They're a team, just destined for one another. Like a hand to a glove, they just fit. So there you go. And of course, even while reaching into the boot of the car, as they say in the UK, in the boot, do you guys say hatchback, or is it still called a boot? But anyway, reaching into the boot of the car, you can see they're grabbing meals out of the back as they're making their deliveries. And I do recall that that lady um, said that she didn't know who they were. They had interviewed her after the fact, and she said, "All I remember is that I thought the woman was absolutely beautiful." She said she had adjusted her mask, and I could just barely see her face, but she was so beautiful. That's what the lady said, and she said they were very, very nice. BBC News to start search for first royal editor amid soaring audience interest in monarchy. Now, contrast that with British public for support for monarchy at historic low, polls reveal. So on December 8th, you seem to think there's so much necessity for a what do you call it, a royal editor, that you're announcing that you're going to do a big hiring. Meanwhile, over at the Guardian, they say the opposite. On eve of King's coronation, survey shows only uh, 10 Britons think, 3 in 10, sorry, Britons think the monarchy is very important. 3 out of 10 Britons believe the monarchy is very important. 3 out of 10? Now, they're not saying to do away with it, but that's 3 out of 10 people, okay? Let's say you get 10 people in the room and you ask those 10 people, do you think that the monarchy is still very important? Do you think the monarchy is still very important? And of course, at that point, you hear crickets. You hear people clearing their throats. You see somebody looking out the window trying to see if that's the UPS or the FedEx guy. Anything but answering the questions. And then finally, 3 people are polite enough to say, yes, it's pretty important. And see, some of the squatties from the Twitter, they have said that they don't think about the royals from day to day. They just go about their business. And that was the vibe that I got when I was in the UK. I did not think that people thought much of them. I noticed that there are a lot of like newspapers, or well, online papers, where they don't mention anything royal unless there's a wedding or a funeral or some major state dinner or something like that. They just don't even mention the royals. It's not like they start off the report with the royal family. That doesn't happen. So, what we see from the outside looking in, where the royals are part of everybody's life from sun up to sundown, is the United Kingdom, not North Korea. They don't have a government radio piped or television piped into the home. They don't make you put a picture of the dear leader on the wall like they do in North Korea. They don't have any of that. And even some crazy person wrote something about the Sussexes. And rather than me blocking the person, I actually decided to retort. This person was saying that the Sussexes caused all this for themselves and so on and so forth. And so what I did my advice for that person, and I think a couple of you all may have seen that comment that I made. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find my response. But it was just off the top of my head. So this person says the amount of hate that Meghan and Harry get is unwarranted. So they started off on the right foot, right? They seem to be good people. However, I don't think that they are so perfect and flawless as you are trying to they say portray them to be. Let me see. They are only human after all. Well, she says all this and all that and all this and all that. And so this is my answer. You are deliberately ignoring the briefing from William and his aides at Kensington Palace, or you are ignorant, or both. You need to stop assuming what Meghan and Harry were thinking and feeling. I spent more time in the UK than you realize. I had no problems, but I was not married into a racist institution. Read Spare and Endgame and then watch the Netflix series. You will have your eyes open. Give the Sussexes 30 hours of your time instead of the 24 hours per day propaganda from the Mail and the Sun, etc., etc., etc. And you know, the reason why I said 30 hours is because in 30 hours, you should be able to watch the docuseries, right? You could do the audio book of Spare or Endgame or both, whatever. So, okay, to be fair, those two books would be about 30 hours right there. So, all I'm saying is one of the reasons why it's easy for me to do what I'm doing is because this that I'm doing is a flash in the pan. I don't kid myself about that. It's a flash in the pan. It is not a major network. It is not a newspaper. They go on about the Sussexes 24 hours a day. In some media market somewhere, there is some right wing news agency or two or three or six that are talking about Harry and Meghan, making accusations about Harry and Meghan, telling people what they're thinking and what they were doing and what their intentions were. Oh, Meghan found out there was hard work, so she didn't want to do that, so she left. Meghan found out there was no money involved, so she left. And they believe that. They believe that. And the reason why they believe it is because every show, either everybody is saying it or there's one person who's not saying that stupid stuff, right? But the majority of the report is saying that. And the English speaking world has an oversaturation, overly saturated with tabloid journalism. So what can you do? Well, first of all, you reinforce the truth. But if those people would give of their time, just a fraction of their time, 30 hours, 40 hours, if they made that commitment to hear the other side of the story, but they don't want to hear it. And I don't blame this person because this person obviously has grown up a royalist. This is likely an older person who is a royalist. They have never known anything but the royal family. But then again, you could say the same thing for Harry. Harry has never known anything but the royal family. Big difference is Harry knows the difference, though. Harry has had his eyes open. Harry has watched the subtle change in people's behavior anytime there's Black people around. He's seen that himself. At first, he didn't know what it was until he married Meghan. And then all of a sudden, he could not unsee it. He's had his eyes open. So that's the difference. But this person, they don't want to know what the truth is. They don't want anything that is alternative. They want to keep listening to Lady C and GB News. That is their base for information, and they're going to continue to do that. And look at me, because of the work that I'm doing. I have actually gone to the dark side, and I have peered through those accounts. And I mean to tell you, it is some horrendous stuff out there. It is horrendous. I have seen some things that are so illogical and so cruel and so brutal. It frightens you. It really frightens you, because the same people that could perpetuate that garbage, that brutality that they sit there and they ponder and pray for. Could you imagine being comfortable with the destruction of another human being or even a child? But that is how far some of these people would go. They would not lose any sleep knowing that there was a horrendous disaster. That wouldn't bother them a bit. Those are the same people that would watch a Black person running for their lives, and if the lynch mob were to cross their path, they would point them in the direction of the victim. I promise you they would. There are more people that are royalists. There are more people that are derangers. There are more hateful people that would gladly send a lynch mob after someone and wouldn't lose any sleep. They go right back to doing whatever it was they were doing, baking a pie, working at a bank, whatever, school teacher. They go right back to what they were doing. And we know this because, that was the Jim Crow South. That was the Jim Crow South. They were very ordinary people that did some absolutely evil things day after day and didn't lose any sleep over it. They go celebrate. So that is the kind of people that has been targeting the Sussexes. I don't know how many of them, if any, could not be as cruel as a lynch mob. That's why it's easy. When I say that this is easy for me, it is. It really is. It's not that I don't work hard, but I don't consider it hard work because I enjoy what I'm doing. I never not enjoy it. It's just as fresh to me today as it was 2 years ago. And now that I know how to do more stuff, now it's easier to do it. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the community. And I feel like as long as I'm being supportive to the Sussexes, it's a worthy cause. Win-win. A safe space amongst other safe spaces. I like that. So, okay. So right there it says, do they really take the public for idiots? Soaring interests The coronation was underwatched. Reports before and after documented that support for the monarchy was at an all-time low. The BBC are lying, and what they're trying to do is work for the monarchy to boost interest in it. Well, okay, now this is what one of the squatties said. This right here is a quote from the squatty. Let me tell you, bang on. That is absolutely the truth. Um, I'm going to add one more little thing to that, though. Not only, not only uh, they want to do this work for the monarchy to boost interest in the BBC, but also to save the BBC. Because remember, William said that he and Kate, they are no longer dealing with the BBC. William said he is no longer friends with ITV's Tom Bradby. So people that they see as the enemy, they are trying to undermine. And so the whole thing with the Panorama, BBC Panorama interview for Diana is they're using that as leverage to shame and chase away the people at the BBC they don't agree with. They're trying to delegitimize and destabilize the BBC so that more people in the public will put their faith in, let's say, Talk TV or some Rupert Murdoch, some right wing, anything right wing. They want you to put your confidence in Sky News and ignore the BBC. Not that the BBC is ever going to go away, but the thing is, you know how CNN used to be a very credible news network? How much people love CNN? I know I did. I always saw CNN as honest brokers. But now that they have shamed and disgraced all of the left wingers out of there, we're left with the right wingers. It is turning into Fox News 2.0. Sometimes you can barely tell CNN from Fox News. And that's what they want to do with the BBC. They want to boost interest, but they want to make sure that they can get some Tories in there. They want to get another Winchell guy. What's that guy? Winchell? They want to get another one of those guys. I don't know why they would need a royal editor. They're already doing the bidding of the royal family. They changed that program about the two princes because of pressure from the royal family. What else do you want? You want another person on the inside? Do you know how many times they have killed a story because the royal family did not want it? How about the documentary where the queen kind of looked a little racist, didn't she? And now we're not able to see it unless somebody's streaming onto YouTube. Before they take it down, you can watch it. But they didn't want that scene ever again because it doesn't put the royal family in the best light. So they're not so independent now. Why would you need a royal editor? Is that like the finishing touch? Does that help them sleep better at night? Knowing that there's nobody conspiring to bring out the truth, not conspiring against them, but just bringing out the Nicholas Winchell. Thank you. Nicholas Winchell, the guy who said that the queen was necessary because she steadies the nerves of the country during times of trouble. Just get me to the doctor, okay? I don't need my nerves steadied. I need treatment. Get me to the doctor. Okay? Get me a good vaccine. I don't need my nerves steady. I need help. I told you we had a lot to cover tonight. Okay, so exclusive. King Charles traveling to Canada for the first time as monarch, but faces huge opposition. You think? You think? Um, let me. You know what? I will let someone else do the talking. I will let someone else do the talking. Uh, okay, I am going to forward to. Let me see. Where do I want to start this? Don't want to do the whole video, but I like the way it ended. Yes, there we go. I'm going to just start from the middle. Nope. Okay. I'm going to start right here, about 4 minutes. Here are some examples. 1. Harry and Meghan remained silent while serving Her Majesty, the Queen, and country and Commonwealth. The firm and other principals within the British royal family did not. Instead, they used the tabloids to diminish their current popularity, ability to serve the crown, and the historical record of their earlier pre-relationship philanthropic service and careers. 2. Harry and Meghan never shred their lived experiences until after stepping back, after the assaults on them continued voraciously despite their relocation abroad, and after an entire year of no accountability, no civility, and no response to their efforts for peace and coexistence. The firm and other principals within the British royal family continued to feed the tabloid beast with lies, leaks, and decisions that put the couple and their children physically, mentally at risk, that impacted both the companies and new hires they were working with professionally, and that publicly dismissed, discredited the humanitarian work undertaken by H&M and the Archewell Foundation, including efforts on behalf of military families and veteran families. 3. Harry and Meghan have a decades-long track record of speaking truth to power. The firm and other principals within the British royal family have a decades-long track record of protecting the heirs at any cost, regardless of truth and circumstance. 4. Harry and Meghan remain surrounded by highly respected, creative, and humanitarian-oriented friends and colleagues of the highest order and repute, earned by their good deeds versus inherited wealth. The firm and other principals within the British royal family remain surrounded by elitist-minded courtiers, tabloid reporters, editors, and friends within the British aristocracy, positions in society earned by their inherited wealth off the backs of enslaved people of color decades earlier versus their good deeds. So until I see a vast change in King Charles III's treatment of Harry and Meghan, the rest besides Eugenie and Jack are likely a lost cause, I will support our country's growing efforts to discontinue our relationship with the UK and Crown, because frankly we Canadians long outgrew you in our individual and family values, our cultural inclusiveness, and our duty to engage in the reparations process with our Indigenous peoples, an endeavor Harry and Meghan are actively helping us with. Most of you beyond the amazing Sussex squatties probably didn't even know that, did you? In other words, stay home. Stay home. Do not make a fool out of yourself. Stay home. You and your emotional support, Camilla, your time could be better spent someplace else. Better go to Australia before you lose that too. But you might as well stay home, boo, because they don't want you. They are not interested. Whatever you're selling, they are not interested in it. I like the documentaries on the BBC News. He uh, their travel series. Okay, yeah, their travel series. There was one documentary I watched that talked about those Fabergé eggs, like the ones that the Tsarina Alexandra of Russia had. I love Fabergé eggs. I love those things. Um, I saw some at a store, and like a nerd, I was standing outside taking photos of them. They were in the shop window in a mall, and I just had to have a picture of it because I love Fabergé eggs. But yeah, those are beautiful things. They used to gift those in the royal court. Um, and Fabergé, he was French born, right? He would come up with these beautiful ornate eggs, jeweled eggs, which, of course, in the Eastern Orthodox religion has some significance that escapes me. But anyway, they were very popular amongst the aristocrats, especially the um, the czar and the family and such. So, and then when you open them up, there was a little like toy or music box or something like that. And I mean, looking at the way they make those things, I'm telling you, I get it. I get it. We are bonding right now. I get it. I'm going to show you the photo that I took. Let me see. I'm going to search egg and see if it pops up like that. Nope. The only thing that comes up is a picture of Charles. So let me put in the name of the mall and I will show you. Oh, there it is right there. I don't even have to look that far. It is right here. Unfortunately, they're not open, but makes you wonder what's inside though, right? So here's one. Isn't that beautiful? Now, of course, that's not nearly as nice as the ones that were made for the royal court, but they are pretty special. And I got one more. Yeah, because these kind of look, well, they just look mass produced. Um, they're not individual like the ones that the royal court would have. And then when you open them up, there might be like a little golden carriage or something inside. Look at that one. So that one has an arrow. Oh, they both have, yeah, see, these are mass produced. But you can see the enamel, which is something that they would have used with the real ones. And there's like rhinestones or cubic zirconia, which of course they would have used diamonds. But yeah, they are pretty neat. And if you had one in your collection, well, you'd never have to work again. If you sold that puppy, you'd never have to work again because they are worth millions. What's his name? Albert of Monaco. Someone was in debt to him, or they gifted him. I think he had helped them with their yacht or something like that. And they just gave him a beautiful blue and gold Fabergé egg. Who just gives someone a Fabergé egg? Could you imagine how wealthy that person must have been that they could just say, oh, here you go. What's that? Open it up. And he has the egg on his desk. So you guys didn't know I was such a nerd, did you? See, when I'm interested in something, I really dig in deep. So anyway, so these are mass-produced knockoffs, but you get the point. They can be pretty special. So if you get a chance to Google the Fabergé eggs or watch that documentary, and I do agree the BBC is good for those documentaries. I saw some amazing documentaries, and so that is why when people knock the BBC News. I really hate that because I tell you, if it wasn't for television, I wouldn't have nearly as much education as I have. I have been educated through television. Um, I traveled the world. Before I had a passport, I had television. And you can learn a lot. And when people turn their nose up and say, I don't really watch television, I'm not impressed. I am not impressed. It does not make you special or unique or anything else because you don't watch television. I'm talking about before the days of the internet. There was nothing special about that to me. It just depends on what you watch, when you watch. I have had memberships to public television here in the United States for years because I knew the value of it. So, knowledge is power. All right, let me see here. Naomi Maria says, Baron, let King Charles and his sidekick come visit us down under, and it will be the last. It will be his last, and they will not be warmly welcome. Its colonial vestiges are coming to an end. Naomi Maria, I can believe that. I can believe that. If it wasn't for what I understand is that if they were not trying to install an executive branch of the government through the parliament, then there would have already been, the royal family the monarchy would have been dismissed years ago. But because they were trying to choose a president or a prime minister from within the parliament, that wasn't something people were interested in. But having the ability to vote directly for a leader, that would be a game changer. That would probably mean the end of the monarchy in Australia. So, yep. But fun to hear it anyway. So, Prince William's drastic 5-point plan to modernize the firm that would horrify the late Queen. We actually talked about this before, but just to review, give up the Commonwealth, fewer royal patronages, focus on the Wales family, fewer royal engagements, frugality in mind, less formality, scaled down coronation and ceremonies. So, to be fair, number 5 might be his salvation. If they could get away with number 5, that might save the future of the monarchy. If they could do that. If that is allowed, if the government says okay, then that will be allowed. But if you give up the Commonwealth, fewer royal patronages, focus on the Wales family, fewer royal engagements, number 5 ain't going to matter because they going to cut your money. They are going to cut your money. I promise you guys. There is no way that he can have 1 through 4 at the rate that the government is paying the royal family. There's no way that would work. I think that they take their position for granted, and there is going to be a constitutional nightmare if the economy has not greatly improved and they're still getting 350 million pounds to not do 1 through 4 or to limit 1 through 4. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. I would say number 1 is easy. Give up the Commonwealth. As it is, the government does not. Have you guys noticed that the government does not allow Will and Kate to travel on official business for the government? Did you all notice that? Oh, Yasmin Page, thank you so much. Meghan is still patron of SmartWorks. I think it was earlier this year that she donated a load of handbags to them from California-based company by women. William with a black person again. I love the way you threw that in there. A California-based company by women. Williams with a black person again. You say that like we talking on the phone to each other. Meghan is still a patron of Smart Works. I think earlier this year, sent some donated some bags from a California base. Williams with a black person again. Woo! I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. It's kind of like you talking to somebody on the phone and they say, Lord, look, there's William. He out there was a black person again. See, I knew that. He always with a black person. Every time he get in trouble, he with a black person. Now, what was I saying about the bags? Yeah, see, she donated some bags. He with a black person again. Two different topics. Two different topics on one comment. You get a bell for that. Oh Lord, you guys destroy me sometimes. I promise you. Sometimes just a couple of little words can change everything. Oh man, that was fun. But yeah, of course he's with a black person again. And just for fun, you guys, when I was looking for the 5 things that he wanted to change, I came across those photos of William. If you ask me, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Cornwall, and a few other things, if you ask me, that man is suffering from a personality disorder. Now, hear me out. Take a look at the various expressions on his face. There's no fixed expression. I mean, there's not supposed to be, but I look at him, and you ever look at Donald Trump and you say to yourself, this is someone who practices the look that he has on his face, that he practices his facial expressions. William seems like he practiced his facial expressions. And that's why he always looks so weird, is because him trying to look natural comes across looking like a psychopath. This guy has some serious, serious problems. There is something terribly wrong with him. Terribly wrong. It's as though he is, you know, not to diagnose him. I'm not saying he's a psychopath, but they say a psychopath has no real human emotion. They have to play act, they have to pretend to feel certain things, but they really don't know what the real emotions are. They don't know grief. They don't know any of that stuff. Now, William's not that person, obviously. I mean, I've seen William crying, like when they booed him out of the Liverpool that time. William will cry, but there is something wrong with this guy. This guy needs some help, desperately needs some help. And I saw him with a black person again. Oh, I love that. Um, Let me see. Yeah, creepy, creepy. Incandescent Psycho. Oh, Caligula, huh? The second. Oh my goodness. Uh, Lizard people have to mimic human expressions to appear human. You mean that reptilian vertebrate inbred um, product of generations of cousins marrying? You think so? Let me see here. Lisette, thank you so much for being here. Reach out and touch somebody black and make sure all the cameras see that. Reach out and touch somebody black and make sure all the cameras can see that. Take a little time out your busy day to touch a Negro along the way. You can change things, you'll see, even if it happens unnaturally. I think I'm starting to rub off on you all. Okay, let's go because I still got I think I still got 20 slides left. And of course, Charles, who is probably terrified of William, tries to keep him in line of sight at all times because William is desperate for the big job and who knows what could happen. So better to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And if it's William, keep him in line of sight. Your Highness, thank you so much for coming. Oh, we love to help those in need. Hey, Louie, do you know any Christmas carols? Let me see. Christmas, a time to care, but only if the cameras are there. Christmas is a time to care, but only if the cameras are there. Oh my gosh, where he got that from? Oh, I don't know who made this, but it was on the internet, obviously. I thought it was the funniest thing. I'm trying to think of what I had the lyric, I mean the melody for that song earlier. No, it's a Christmas song, I think. There's a melody for it. Christmas is a time to care, but only if the cameras are there. No, let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to think. Oh man, I cannot think of the. I had it earlier and I could not. Now I cannot remember it. But anyway, whoever made this is brilliant, though. Whoever made this is absolutely brilliant. And they actually captured Kate's extensions. Oh man, what is the melody? If you could think of the melody of that song, I'll do it the right way. And I knew it earlier. I knew it, and I can't remember now. Christmas is a time to care. Christmas is a time to care, but only if a camera's there. Oh man, what is the tune? Anybody? Oh well. Uh And that's not I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Nope. It's not the first day of Christmas. Oh man, I could not remember the melody for this one. Let me see. It's Let Them Know It's Christmas Time. Oh, you mean that song by, was it John Lennon? No. Is that it? Oh, well. And don't forget, you guys, I wrote a Christmas song myself. Let me see. Where's my Christmas song? Oh yeah. On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 1 Kate of Keening, 2 lazy Cambridges, 3 homes that are empty, 4 nannies overworking, 5 press briefings. I wrote that for Christmas 2022. Lisette Zog, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Let them know it's Christmas time. I don't know how that song goes. Let them know it's Christmas time. I forget the melody for that. Oh well. Anyway, it's fun. I won't spoil it any further. So, Meghan and Harry slammed for releasing Archewell impact report after Kate charity video. Who's copying who? Well, that is the New York Post, but as we know, Meghan has, or should I say the Sussexes, have released videos in the past. So that's nothing new. As a matter of fact, the Cambridges embracing of the YouTube was in response to Harry and Meghan's popularity with young people. Everything that they have been doing is in response to the Sussexes. It's not stuff that they want to do. Remember, they were saying that they hired people, and that, of course, includes Christian Jones, who encouraged them to step outside of their safety zone and to do things differently. Then they hired that guy from NBC, and of course, he is there to help them become better engaged with the virtual world. And so, no matter how you slice it, everything that they are doing is in response to. We saw Meghan folding baby clothes at that event with the Archewell Foundation. And now what do you see? Kate pretending like she knows how to fold clothes. Right? So everything is in response. It does not matter. The Sussexes have been ahead and are winning the public relations. They're winning. And that is in spite of an entire infrastructure of media, government, monarchy, and then, of course, they can depend on media in other countries. Now, a lot has changed, and it's not as easy to coerce American news media into these negative stories. Now, I don't know if that's because of the William Morris agency or whatever. I don't know if it's just because of a certain level of fatigue that people have suffered here in the US where they just want to stay out of it. I don't know what it is. It could be the Sussex squad. But whatever the case may be, they're not getting the free ride that they got before. A lot of that nonsense that they perpetuate stays in the pages of the ever dwindling tabloid media. And it is shrinking. So much so that out of desperation, they have decided to go on to WhatsApp and TikTok and all Snapchat and all those things. They want to have a presence in every type of medium they can because people are losing interest that is, in these negative things about the Sussexes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Legs. They are admitting that there's copying going on. It is so deliberate, too. You think so? Let me see. Now, let me see. Christmas time, a time to care, but only if a camera's there. Well, I think you're onto something. Christmas time is a time to care, but only if there's a camera there. Yeah, I could picture little Louis singing like Luther Vandross, actually. I could picture Louis singing like Luther Vandross. So, um, if for no other reason than to shock his parents, I could picture little Louis belting out a Christmas carol about a private but not private visit to a what do they call it, a baby store or whatever, baby bank. I can picture that. That could happen. Christmas is a time to care, but only if there's a camera there. But a camera's not a house, and a house is not a home. If we have 6 places to live, and everybody's gone. Oh man, I'm having too much fun tonight. I am having too much fun. So, oh yeah, this is a more serious thing. Interview: Racism, Prejudice, and Changing the Guard at Buckingham Palace. For 9 years, Dwight Pyle Gray was proud to be a guardsman, one of the soldiers who marched at Trooping the Color. Then a junior colleague derogatory attitude exposed a culture of racism in the army. Now he is speaking out. And who is he? Well, his name is Dwight Pyle Gray. This is Dwight Pyle Gray. This guy, actually, I believe he went into the armed services a little later in life. I think he was actually twice the age of some of the people that were serving with him. But in spite of that, he managed to rise through the ranks. And anyway, they reminded him that he was not white. They reminded him that he was not white. Let's see. Shelly L says, "Hi, Baron. Hello, Squatties. It's the Chipmunks Hula Hoop Christmas song." I have no idea what that is. The Chipmunks Hula Hoop Christmas song? Okay, well, you know what? Because it's Louis, that makes more sense that it would be something catering toward children. So I'll go with that one. You know what? Oh, by the way, thank you so much for that, Shelly L. Thank you for your comment, and I will try to set a melody to it, and I will get back to y'all with that one tomorrow. Louis will be there chinking their mediocre armor. You know what, Black Queen? When I hear people say, "I can't wait to see Louis," I like Louis. I cringe when I hear that. I cringe and I feel sad. And when I hear the announcer on TV say, "Oh, there goes Louis. I wonder what Louis is going to do today." Oh my God. Oh my God in heaven. Please don't ruin that child's life. Do not turn him into a clown. And they're doing it already. He's just a child, and they're doing it already. I like Louis. I can't wait to see what and as that filters down to him, he is going to be encouraged to cut up. That is going to be his party trick, his card trick or whatever. Oh, and we are watching it. We're watching it play out. And I hate it. Every time I hear somebody, uh, especially the reporters, when they say, "Oh, I'm waiting for Louis. I wonder what Louis is going to do." Please leave that child alone. Let him have a normal life. Let him have whatever life he could have without being the butt of the joke, without being the court jester. They cannot wait to make him the court jester. Very sad. I hate that. Okay. Oh, what did I miss? I think you're right. Anti-American. They want to envision that the British are the upper elites. Yeah, that British exceptionalism. It's the same way that they used to do here in the U.S. One thing about racism here in the U.S., it enabled the poorest and least educated white person to be superior to a black doctor or lawyer. That is how the racism works here. And depending on where you are and what the circumstances are, it's still true today. Like, for instance, you could be a black brain surgeon that gets involved in an involuntary vehicular manslaughter, and you might end up in jail for life. Or you could be some drunken fool in the right county whose father is the right person or whatever, and you could take the lives of several people with your vehicle. And remember that kid that got in trouble that time, and the judge didn't want him to rot away in jail because he was so fair and so good looking, and of course he was white, somebody the judge could identify with, and he got this incredibly light sentence, and the judge had to quit. The judge had to take an early retirement because of the outcry. But the judge could not conceive of someone so young and so fair, no matter how malicious the act, could not conceive of that person going to jail as though he was black. That's what they really mean, is that the black lives are disposable. But if they're a good-looking white kid from the right family, the sentence won't be as severe. If they spend a night in jail, that would be interesting. They'll get them out of there so fast. And that's how racism in America works. That's how if the police are, there's a big disparity in a missing black child. They don't seem to look as much. There's not as big a public outcry. And we have records of this. Prince Louis is already being treated like Prince Harry was treated as a child. Then it will lead into teenage years and early adulthood, where he will be scapegoated like his Uncle Harry. Yep, Helen, you're so right. You are so right. It makes me so sad. It really does. It makes me so sad. And the other day, while I'm thinking about this, the other day, there was someone who had accused us of going after the Cambridge kids. They accused us of going, why do you all talk about those kids? That person didn't watch the whole thing. They didn't watch, they probably didn't watch half of it. They just heard the topic and assumed that we were targeting, and that has never happened here or any other Sussex friendly space. Let's see. Yep, Royal Sussex. They called it affluenza. Yes. Oh, let me see. He killed 5 or 7 people. Now that was that rat face looking kid, right? He and his mother had ran off to Mexico. That's one of them, but it was another one. And the same thing happened. And I believe with the affluenza kid, the judge was a man, but in the other case, I think the judge may have been a woman, or it may have been another man. But either way, there have been several cases like that. As a matter of fact, there was just a case today where a guy had a car accident. He was in his 60s. I think he was 63. And he was having a diabetic episode, and he was trying to go to the emergency room. And instead of sticking around waiting for the police, he got in his car and tried to continue to the hospital. And then this big Jethrine from Beverly Hillbillies chased him down like a dog in the street, cut off his car, and then began to punch him through an open window, telling him to get the F out the car. And then she unholstered her firearm from her rather plump, overstuffed biscuit and gravy hip and killed him, shot him dead. And she thought she was going to get away with it. And instantly she lied. Instantly she lied and told the police that he shot himself. They could not find his DNA on her firearm. There's no images of him reaching out of that car window. She was reaching into the window. And this young lady thought for sure that because it was an old black man, that everybody was going to believe her. But they didn't. And they found her guilty on every count. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in that case, I will find, let me see what her name is. I was looking at that earlier. But yeah, they're going to lock her up. They took her away in handcuffs. And you know what? I don't see it. Oh, well, you know what? I think I'm looking in the wrong place. Hannah Payne. That's her name, Hannah Payne. Hannah Payne. They found her guilty. And the police, just like with Trayvon Martin, the police told her not to follow the guy. Now, technically, it was, maybe Ricks, you found it already. But yeah, technically it was a hit and run. But there was extenuating circumstances. The guy was ill. As a matter of fact, there were syringes in his car because he was very ill. And I think he was trying to get to the hospital before he went into a coma or whatever. And anyway, it was just a mess. And throughout the whole trial, she showed little or no emotion. And even when the police arrived on the scene, she instantly started lying as though she had rehearsed this in her mind already, right? And when they said guilty on all 11 counts, she was crying like a rat eating onions. She was crying and boo-hooing. Oh, I mean to tell you. And I could not have been more pleased. I could not have been more pleased with the verdict. But she thought I'm sorry, Reba Henderson. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me continue with this. So anyway, he was one of the guards that performed at Trooping the Colors and such, and his name is Dwight Pyle Gray. And that's him right there. I think that was him when he first got there, and that was him after he left. There he is playing his French horn, which I love the French horn. And there he is. You see the guy in the back? One of these things don't look like the other. One of these things are just not the same. One of these things don't look like the other. Can you name it in a game? Too much? Okay, too much. Anyway, let me get to the story. It's kind of a long article, but I'll just share a bit of it with you. In July 2021, Lance Sergeant Dwight Pyle Gray had a medical appointment at Wellington Barracks in London, where he had been based for 9 years. It was from here as a French horn player with the band of the Grenadier Guards. He had marched many times to nearby Buckingham Palace for the changing of the guards, to Horse Guard Parade for Trooping the Colors, or even the event he most cherished, Remembrance Day at the Cenotaph. Among the musicians in red gold button tunics of his regiment, known as the First and the Finest, Pyle Gray, now 55, was distinctive in one regard. He was the rare black face and the first Rastafarian in the British Army to keep his traditional locks worn piled up in a bun inside his bearskin helmet, a trick he learned from a female soldier. But that morning, seeing the doctor about an eye infection, he was in smart skivvies, or civvies rather. I think that means civilian clothes, right? A paisley shirt, shorts, and aviator glasses. After his appointment, he left the barracks briefly to call his wife, Anna, and only turning back did he realize he left his security pass in his locker. The protocol when a soldier forgets his ID is to send him into the guard's room where someone will vouch for him. If this had happened, Pyle Gray would still be in the Army. Now, this is where it gets really, really shady. Now, remember, usually when that happens, you just get someone to vouch for you, right? Not this time. Approaching the gate, he said to the guard, sorry, mate. He said to the guard, sorry, mate, I left my ID inside. The guard, half his age and a lance corporal below him in rank, replied with a sarcastic, oh, really? Pyle Gray gave his name and position. This gentleman sneered the guard, thinks he's this gentleman sneered the guard. That's what it means. That's how the guard reacted with this gentleman, the guard sneered, thinks he left his ID in here. Does anyone know him? Bristling at the condescension, Pyle Gray repeated his details curtly. I don't need your attitude, replied the guard. After this, Pyle Gray, now furious, told Lance Corporal to put your feet together and stand to attention when you talk to me. I mean, after all, Pyle Gray is his superior officer, but this young man was treating him in a very casual, disrespectful way because I'm guessing it's because he's black and he doesn't believe that he belongs there, or it's because he's black and he doesn't believe that he should have ever been there. So it's one or the other. Okay. So to continue, once inside, Pal Gray changed into his uniform and returned to the guard's room. I knew he had a job to do, but I wanted to explain the way he spoke to me was wrong, he said. On seeing him approach, the lance corporal said, "Oh, I am going to get a bullocking," and summoned his staff sergeant as a witness. Pal Gray explained that since he had been in civvies, that the guard hadn't recognized him. He should initially have been addressed as sir. I said that if it had been a 53-year-old white man, I would have been treated differently. At this, the staff sergeant said, "If you were going to play the race card, I'm not going to speak to you," and walked away. So he's got a point there, because anytime I have ever had a conversation with a young person in the military, white, black, Asian, it does not matter. I am sir, right? I'm usually older and they address me as sir. Yes, sir, and no, sir. I've never had a person in uniform disrespect me. And this is a superior officer. And this young man felt emboldened enough to treat him very casually and dismissively, right? So right there, you know something is wrong. So let me continue. Oh, where did I leave off? Okay, right here. Pal Gray, with a 15-year unblemished record, who had never once made a complaint about racism, he explains. I'm sorry, one more time. He had never complained about racism in his experience, was livid, as angry but not physical exchange followed, in which he swore at the staff sergeant. Afterwards, he went straight to the garrison commander, a lieutenant colonel, to apologize and explain the circumstances. The lieutenant colonel asked if he wanted to make an official complaint, but Pal Gray said no. He preferred mediation, to sit down with the two men out of uniform and let them understand why I felt humiliated by their disbelief I could be a soldier. Their disbelief that he could be a soldier. Ain't that a trip? The garrison commander thought this an excellent plan. Pile Gray left, but the lieutenant colonel followed him downstairs. He wanted to ask me if there was still racism in the army. I said, "Of course there is," he said. "I thought we'd get rid of all of that." Then he asked what happened to his mixed race nephew I said, what would happen to his mixed race nephew who was joining the Coldstream Guards? I said, "He'll get abused, sir." So then it goes into a bit of a biography. I'm going to get back to this, let me see. By the way, you guys, this is in the Times if you want to see it for yourself, but it's a long article. This is talking about his rise in his career, new recruit. I'm trying to get to why he's not there. Okay. His disappointment. Nope, that's not it. Besides camaraderie, Pal Gray loved. Okay. He studied. Nope. In 2012, Pal Gray was posted to the Scots Guard base in Wellington barracks while living at home. Nope, that's not it either. On the first day. Nope. Army skiing trip. Okay. In 2017, this gets us back to more present. In 2017, he was transferred to the Grenadier Guards And after acquiring a wealth of army and conducting experience, Pyle Gray replied to a bandmaster course. Okay, that ain't there yet. In 2012, nope. On research trip, nope. Okay, here we go. After his meeting with the garrison commander, Pyle Gray waited for mediation to be set up, but it never was. Instead, he was summoned and charged with insubordination. Moreover, what was first a minor administrative matter was quickly bumped up to a service offense. Under the Army Force Act, Pyle Gray pleaded guilty because he had never denied losing his temper, was fined a day's pay, and received a blemish on his Army record. He was outraged to be treated as a stereotypical angry black man, while the contemptuous treatment by a staff sergeant and guard who provoked him was never addressed. Eventually, the Charity Center for Military Justice took up his case and he made his own service complaint against the two men. At the hearing, the guard said he now felt anxious dealing with Afro Caribbean people, and the garrison commander claimed while the black and minority ethnic soldiers were super polite, Pyle Gray was highly sensitive, a racial bias and highly sensitive to racial bias and harbored injustice. After that, he left the Army, rejecting the special party for friends and family he was entitled to as a long serving soldier. I felt my whole Army career had been a sham and that I'd worked hard to the best of my ability, all for nothing. Feeling the military had deliberately closed ranks rather than address what he sees as institutional racism, Pyle Gray took the Army to an employment tribunal. At the hearing, asked if he was racist, the garrison commander burst into tears. Oh, Lord, a Karen. The tribunal noted the catalog of missed opportunities by officers in the chain of command, right up to the garrison commander, to address and resolve the issues and complaints. Pyle Gray claims of direct race discrimination, racial harassment, and victimization were upheld, and upheld, and this month he was awarded a financial settlement. So now he oversees classic music for children in Islington, lectures and conducting at London College of Music, and is finishing his PhD. This was neither about money nor revenge. He has chosen not to name the personnel concerned. So there you go. There you go. He was othered. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Weaponizing deadly white tears. Damn savages. It's true. It's true. It's something powerful about being a black person in a situation like this. And this is why what Kate did was so dangerous, by making people believe that you were crying because the angry black woman provoked you and attacked you or made you feel vulnerable. Then of course that brings a very severe response for people that or from people that, shall we say, don't really care for black people in the first place. So it's a very dangerous thing. The tears, calling the police, all of those things can escalate into something dangerous. And so that, especially if you're a white person listening right now and you don't understand what that means, it is weaponizing. it's a weapon in a situation like that, where you are conceived of or believed to be this angry black person that made the innocent, angelic white person cry. Usually this has to do with women, but this is the first time I've heard that a man cried. But it is a way of seeking, what do you call it? Um, Compassion? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. But you know what I mean. It's a way to get people to go easy on you. Um, yeah, yeah. That is so typical, though. He broke into tears. Yeah. What a sad thing. What a sad thing to happen. And could you imagine the humiliation as a 53, what was he, 53 years old? A 53-year-old man talking to a kid, and the kid not even giving you enough respect to call you sir. If you thought he was a member of the public, which indeed he may have, that is sir. If there's one thing that I remember from the time that I spent in the UK, I was always sir. Every shop, every situation, even when I think I was racially profiled, I was sir. I was never anything else. I wasn't hey you, I was sir. Sir, can I see your first class ticket? I think I was profiled, but at least he called me sir. That's why I know what he say is true. Them not addressing him as sir, especially somebody half your age, is very disrespectful. And that would be enough to cause a person to get incredibly, incredibly angry. I don't know that I would be reasonable in a situation like that. And you know how, even tempered I am. I don't know if I would be reasonable in a situation like that. Helen says, Baron, weaponizing white tears has happened to me several times working for the NHS. Yep. And then everybody looks at you like you're a monster, like you're unstable. Do you guys remember that movie Jumpin' Jack Flash? You all remember that with Whoopi Goldberg? And her boss thought that she was, well, she had been drugged, but he thought that she was just out partying, drugs, instead of somebody trying to use a truth serum. And when things were going wrong, when she started like acting out, he started yelling, "Get Larry, the heavy set guard." He kept yelling, "Get Larry, the heavy set guard. Get Larry." And this is a comedy. This is a comedy. But still, that was something that was racially motivated. Her boss was white, by the way. Get Larry, the heavy set guard. You want Larry, the heavy set guard, to help you subdue a 5'6" woman? And Whoopi Goldberg was small back then. She wasn't heavy herself. She was a little tiny thing. And he kept yelling, "Get Larry, the heavy set guard." That would almost be funny, but yet I know that elevated, that perceived elevated threat, because it's a woman of color. That happens all the time. That happens all the time. That is not something that was made up for a comedy. That is a real thing. And I used to think it was funny. Every time I watched it, I laugh. I'm like, Lord, what does he want Larry to do? But as I got older, it wasn't as funny. It was not as funny. now I realize that, that could have been a life-ending situation if that was not a movie. Go get Larry, the heavyset guard. Not a guard, but Larry, the heavyset guard. So that is what happened to this guy. Now, as we make it into the home stretch, oh, good Lord, it's almost 3 hours. I need to be long today, though. Children, Wells, Princess, okay, volunteer, baby bank. I think that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Ellie. Or is it L? That's the word I was looking for. Sympathy. Kensington Royal, come collect your your malfunctioning bot. Just when everyone's trashing that PR stunt video of Kate's, visit the baby bank. They send out their bots. Pathetic. Do you guys get what's going on here? Do you get what's going on here? As you know, on the social media, we are attacked by bots. And those bots are usually new accounts or newer accounts. And these fictitious phantom accounts, they search for words. They use an algorithm and they will search for words. And anything that looks like is favorable to Harry and Meghan or whatever issue that they're searching for, or anything that is unfavorable to, let's say in this case, Will and Kate. The only thing that's messed up about this is that this bot or these bots are not using complete sentences. So this one particular bot, my fam, is not using complete sentences. Instead, children, Wells, princess, volunteer, baby bank. So instead of one sentence, it looks like it used one word from the sentence in each of the posts. And they were trying to flood the BBC News account. And instead of using complete sentences and different bots, they had one bot that repeated the same thing over and over again. Now, where these bots come from is still a mystery. But the bots seem to favor Will and Kate. And Will and Kate, however it happened, when Meghan and Harry had the Sussex Royal account on Instagram, it was alleged, and I think I've even heard some of the one of the Royal Rotor reporters say it, that somebody had fattened up the Instagram account for Kensington Royal, meaning that they were buying subscribers or followers or whatever on the Instagram, because they never doubled. They were always like 1 million more than Harry and Meghan. So if Harry and Meghan's account had just got 7 million, theirs would get 8. If they had 10 million, then Kensington Royal would be 11. And even when the Sussexes were not on Instagram anymore, remember, they haven't touched Instagram in years. Then all of a sudden, Kensington Royal stopped growing too. So you know that there was somebody fudging the numbers. Someone had paid, just like a lot of the attacks that we have. Like when I say Princess Meghan, some of those vicious retorts are coming from bots, or in other words, robots. Bots. Oh, really? I don't use Instagram that much. Really? Oh, I did not know that. Huh, that's interesting. Huh. Well, you guys, I tell you, this is a very interesting Royal Sussex tonight. Now, I have a feeling that this is the culprit right here. This is the culprit. Somewhere in the vast archives of Kensington Palace, they must have found an old toy box or something like that, and they found a toy robot. But this may be the culprit right here. That little bot or robot, that may be the culprit. Or I have another theory. Maybe it's this bot. Whatever it is something completely um, naive. Well, no, not naive. That's not the right word. Completely vacant, something hollow, something that doesn't have a personality, something that just does the same range of motions again and again and again, something that is superficial, like a jointed doll that you hang clothes on. Maybe that's the bot right there. Not to be confused with this bot. You really can't tell one bot from the other, can you? There's this one, and this one. All these bots look alike. They're all hollow on the inside. They have no character. They they lack substance. They're vacant. They have that vacant look in their eyes. Yeah. They have synthetic material. Yeah, they have synthetic material. So all of them, it could be either of these could have been the ones responsible. I think it was this one though, because this is the one that looks the least human. Too much. Too much. Let me see. What the hell did that say? Prince William and Kate Middleton slammed for horrible conduct after awkward moment with the Princess of Sweden goes viral. So this is yet another newspaper or whatever, online news, another one that saw that video where the Crown Princess of Sweden, Victoria, was standing behind Will and Kate and not sure what to do. I mean, they're in line, right? They're a receiving line, and they're supposed to go to the Royal Variety Show. But instead of going in, William started talking about Earthshot, and then Kate started talking about the early years, and it seemed like there was this long period of time where Crown Princess Victoria and her husband just had to stand there. They had no one to talk to, no one to engage with. It was very awkward. Very awkward. There's no explanation for it. It was very rude. And people have been talking about it. That's why I say this whole charm offensive that they have is not charming, but it is offensive. There's nothing charming about it. They are looking like big dum-dums. It's embarrassing. And Crown Princess Victoria was embarrassed. And of course, the tabloids, they're not going to say anything. But remember, Kate never puts a foot wrong. Kate never puts a foot wrong. If that was anybody else, they would talk about it for days. But, like, do you guys know that Kate once closed her own car door in a very similar situation, just like Meghan, and nothing was said? Tacky, unpolished, rude, just tacky. You would expect that behavior from people who was not raised with manners. Well, she had to take elocution lessons because she couldn't talk. Kate was worried about Meghan wanting fashion contact. Have you noticed that the less that she's able to sneak away and get her face, whatever they do to it, that the bigger her hair gets? The older she gets, the bigger the hair gets. She wants as much hair over her eyes and framing her face as possible. This new wig that she's wearing is too much. It is way too much. But thank you so much, Lex. So, weekly top 50 shows. Breaking news: Prince William's Earthshot Prize show failed to make the top 50 shows for ratings on the 12th of November, despite being aired on the BBC and despite him having a title which apparently is all you need to be relevant. British tabloid under contract for him were. So they're not talking about the fact that his show was a big flop. It was a big flop. It wasn't even in the top 50. It wasn't even in the top 50 shows. He went all the way to Singapore. Exotic, beautiful, everybody want to go to Singapore. And even with all of that, his show didn't even make top 50. It didn't even make top 50. See there? The Met, BBC Weekend, ITV Evening, Survivor, no Earthshot. It was though it didn't happen. I did that one already. Oh, and then some squatty made this. Harry and Meghan are being held up while the opening of Parliament, the British media and the royalists, and Earthshot is somewhere underwater. All the flesh is rotted away. There's just a skeleton in an old tacky lawn chair. And then over here, all derangers. I know many of you are mad as the comments, but maybe help William out with his book. Wait a minute. Early years level reading. This is from that squatty that I shared yesterday. You remember the one, right? This one. Boo-hoo. Oh, wait, you won't be able to see it. Let me pull it down here. There you go. So the mystery squatty, she was responding to the tweet. I'm shocked seeing negative comments coming from people who don't do nothing to support others or volunteer in their communities. At least these children are privileged, but they are learning how important it is to help others. Your hatred only proves they're doing the right thing. The negative comments are breaking my heart. I expected them from the squad, but when you see the negativity from supposed royal watchers, it hurts. And then that's when my favorite person in the world says, well, boo-hoo, witches. Maybe the people of the land want better and are seeing the UK royals as useless as a fifth tire. Food, baby, clothes banks always do the work. not just when PR and views are needed. I love her. I love her. I'm going to build a shrine to her later. Oh, they gave me my life. I couldn't even finish yesterday for going through her timeline. I thought it was hilarious. Love, love, love it. So well, boo hoo. Oh man. Yeah, she's something else. And when I tell you she really gets into their psychology, she really gets under their skin. I don't think I'm old enough to use that kind of language, but when I grow up I will. And we did this. I think I did that one twice, right? I did. So, okay, we're done, you guys. Blessed are those who give without remembering and take without forgetting. That's our last word of the day. Blessed are those who give without remembering and take without forgetting. That's deep, ain't it? I love that. Yes, the middle bums can't do anything right. Okay, you guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much. It has been a hoot. It has been a hoot. But now we have come to the conclusion of our business day. Thank you, moderators, as always, for keeping this a safe space. There we go. 3 hours and 15 minutes. What was I thinking? Oh, by the way, I know Church Nelly thought that I wasn't on last night, but I could assure you, Church Nelly, I was. And let's see, where are the queens? Oh, not on this one. There we go. Queen Doria and Queen Diana. All right, then thank you very much. We've had our last word. We've had our queens. And now it is time to cue the Ginger Avenger. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. It has been fun, fun, fun. Yeah, it was Church Nelly. Could I find a podcast? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened, but yep. As a matter of fact, I think because I don't know what because, but for some reason that video didn't get that many views. It only had like 10,000 views, which usually it's about 13, but there was only 10. So not sure what happened. Maybe because I had posted too much yesterday or something, but you know how I am when I'm on a roll. When I'm on a roll, I go with it. Okay, so now it's 11,000. And the one before that was 12, and the one before that was 17, 14, 16. Yeah, I think 13 is about normal. I mean, not preferred, of course, but 13, 15, something like that. Well, that one's only got 11, which ain't bad, but still not a strong performance. But I'll take it. I will take it. Did you guys watch Anita of My Duke and I? Oh my goodness, boy, did she lay into Kitty. She laid into Kitty. I was like, wow. Let me get a bag of popcorn. Oh, Desiree Dotson, thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Sherry Ware. Oh, I got this, don't I? Almost forgot about this. Katie V, thank you. Elaine Parker, Black Queen for 18 months. Legs, Vargas, Audrey Teschner, Acelia Ahashi, thank you. And Lizette Zog, thank you very much. Let me see who else. Legs, Shelly L, and Legs again. Thank you very much. Thank you all for supporting Royal Sussex, and also to the Cash App. Oh, you know what? What did I do with the phone? Oh, there it is right there. See, this is why old people should not use a black phone. Black phones ain't good for older people. They get lost. Thank you, MR, for the Cash App. And there was another Cash App. HS, right? Thank you very much. All right. See you guys tomorrow. It has been fun. Yes, Sherry, we're close to 48,000. Yeah, it's going to happen very soon, probably tomorrow, I would imagine. Yep, by tomorrow, I think. Or, yeah, by tomorrow. It is, or today. What am I saying tomorrow? Today. Just, what is that? 87,000. I mean, what am I, 87, not 87,000, 87 subscribers. And we will be at a whopping 48,000. It is going to feel really good to get to 50K. And it's going to feel twice as good to get to 100K. Oh, I want that 100K desperately. I want that silver play button. I want to be surprised when I get that silver play button in the mail. Thank you, Black Queen. Okay, without any further ado, good night. God bless. And no bad energy.